So I like how the short emphasizes the use of breath and breathing to portray different emotions, and I like how they use breath to convey communication with the introduction of singing. The choice is very powerful because it doesn't distract the audience, but makes us focus on the characters and be in the moment with them. I think the color choice is interesting, and the reason they probably chose it is because breath or air is clear and it doesn't have a color, but the closest thing to clear represented is blue.
Immediately, we see from the design of this room that the piece is going to have to deal with the color blue, or what I think is specifically the shade indigo. The breathwork happening combined with the binding of the indigo to cover the breath made me believe that the indigo has played a role in the death of the black body. At the end, the breath work almost transforms into this notion of life or death, to this recalling or processing of grief or healing, or maybe a better description is that it feels like it's grappling with memory as we see the holding of the three women and the breathing and the fade to the shade blue as they get absorbed into this shade of blue or this blue screen. It almost seems like the blue will always be a part of the bodies on the screen.
This piece is developed in sound by the use of our mouths, mostly by the way that we breathe. And while one breath might imitate a ocean wave that might drift us to be encapsulated in that experience, I think is beautiful. The set design in itself is just so beautiful and so impeccable. And here we are given this sense of movement within essentially being cocooned into this space that can be transformative as we take these breaths and bring us from point A to point B. It's about 15 minutes of just focusing on your breath. I found myself even yawning a couple of times, noticing my breath and being aware of my breath. And blue, it's water and this moment within that, the sky, and us just kind of having this sense of calming that comes within this blue nature. It was a meditative experience. And just seeing the way that these two not only find the binds, they help take her apart as well, and kind of have this really, really beautiful, calming moment together.
It's beautiful and intricate. There's a delicacy in all three of the women's performances. They were beautiful actresses. The shades of blue was a very thought out color choice and it symbolized many positive things and very calming to the eye. The clothing entangled together into ropes was the portrayal of the entanglement of life, their lives intertwined into one. By the end, the ritual seemed to be effective and perhaps a success when we see the woman barricaded in the cloth, crying for what feels like a sense of relief of her emotions as she lets go of what was the past and has reached enlightenment. This could be about the portrayal of old values and beliefs, or maybe a modern twist of African rituals.
I really like this room, this blue and light blue and white room where we see these women taking breaths, calm, relaxing, and just breathing, as the title suggests. I really like the idea to use this mix of breathing and colors and movements all together. That was a really interesting experimentation. It really helped also in relaxing myself, and I'm pretty sure the large part of or anyone from the audience watching this film will feel very relaxed at the end of it.
This one brings us to a theme of blue, breathing, calmness, sisterhood, flowing, energizing. Also, we have these breathing sounds and beautiful vocalizations in between all these blue fabrics, blue theme, and this blue room. We then get a glimpse into the ocean, this tangling, covering up untangling exercise. It was cryptic but also very profound. I loved also the very clever title, and I have a sense of comfort, and it's very moving. And at the end, we have this same character all in blue at this cave or rock formation.
I adored this. I thought this was so interesting and so unique and so lovely. There's something so I don't know how like there's something so intriguing, there's something so interesting, there's something so almost meditative about when you really do like breath work, if you've done any kind of yoga or meditation. Um and so having this whole film, this whole sequence, this whole dance, this whole everything really kind of centered on breathing. At least that's what it definitely conveyed to me. It was such an important part. It was such an integral part of how the film played out and how they interacted. And you had this breath the entire time. And like I was saying, just the way that it was really something. So, like, you add the visuals, you add the colors that they were using, which were really vibrant and really stood out, and then you added in the moment, the movement, and the way that they interacted with each other, and the way they moved, and it was just really truly beautiful. It was really breathtaking almost. But I think for me, having the breath really kind of it's almost like when you're swimming and the only thing that you can hear is your own breath, and it kind of just focuses you in and sucks you into like that space in that moment. I think that that's what this did for me, at least.
This is clearly capturing a spiritual experience with the music along with the breathing. This was very clearly a spiritual experience for these women where they can connect together through breathing, through humming, through different sounds. This really is an experiment in sound and showing how certain techniques, especially with breathing, can calm people down. It can become very spiritual. And the fact that it's depicted is something that I don't think a lot of people think about. It's a sacred place for them to be and to connect and to calm down and to step away from the world, which is something I think that we all need once in a while. These sacred spaces that are just for us and our close loved ones and friends. That way we can just step away just for a moment